In the time of the Great Rebellion, this manor of Baskerville was held by Hugo. He was the wildest, profane, and godless man. It chanced that Hugo came to love the daughter of a young man who held lands near the Baskerville estate. But the young maiden avoided him, for she feared his evil name. So Hugo, with his companions, stole down upon the farm and carried off the maiden when her father and brothers were away. When they had brought her to the hall, the maiden was placed in an upper chamber, while Hugo and his friends sat down to a long carouse. At last, in the stress of her fear, she came down from under the eaves by the ivy which covered the south wall, and so went homeward across the moor. Hugo found the cage empty, and the bird escaped. He gave the hounds a kerchief of the meats and chased his prey. 30 people took horses and started in pursuit of Hugo. The moon was shining bright upon the clearing, and in the center of the moor lay the unhappy maid dead. The body of Hugo Baskerville was lying near her, and there stood a great black beast, shaped like a hound but larger than any hound. They saw the thing tore the throat out of Hugo. The ghost hound has been said to be the curse of the Baskerville ever since.
In 1889, Holmes and I received a very mysterious case from Dr. Mortimer. He was a doctor and friend of Sir Charles Baskerville, who had recently died of a heart attack. But the doctor believes that the curse of the Baskervilles led to the death of Sir Charles. He fears the same thing for the next heir, Sir Henry Baskerville. My friend Holmes, however, considered it a murder, and in order to protect Sir Henry, I was asked to accompany him. Before following Sir Henry back to Denvershire, there were many suspicious things like the missing shoe of Sir Henry.
By thunder, if that child can find a missing, there will be trouble.
Or the bearded stalker. By order of Holmes, I was required to give a full report of all that had taken place in Denvershire, and did not leave Sir Henry alone. My dear Holmes, we arrive tonight shortly after dark. This area is having a murderer who escaped from prison. One night I heard a woman crying. It turned out to be Missy Barrymore, a Baskerville servant. Later, I also caught Mr. Barrymore sneaking out of the room, looking out into the moor. He walked very slowly and circumspectly. There was something indescribably guilty and faulty in his whole appearance. Barrymore was crouching at the window with a candle held against the glass. I also met Mr. Stapleton and his sister, Barry.
Dr. Watson!
Forgive my shouting at you. I'm Stapleton of Merripit House.
For I knew that Mr. Stapleton was a naturalist. But how did you know me?
Yes. Actually, I used to have school in the north. I knew your name from Dr. Mortimer. We were all rather afraid that after the sad death of Sir Charles, Sir Henry might refuse to live here. Has Sir Mr. Sherlock Holmes come to any conclusions?
I'm afraid that I cannot answer the question.
May I ask if he's going to honor us with a visit himself?
He cannot leave the town at the present. He has other cases which can get his attention.
Oh, what a pity.
A small fly moth had fluttered across our path, and in an instant, Stapleton was rushing with extraordinary energy and speed in pursuit of it. I was standing watching his pursuit with a mixture of admiration for his extraordinary activity and fear lest He should lose his footing in a Jesuit's mile when I heard a sound of steps, and turning round found a woman near me upon the path. I could not doubt that it was Miss Stapleton.
Go straight back to London instantly.
Why should I go back?
I cannot explain, but for God's sake do what I ask you. Go back and never set foot upon the moor again. My brother is coming.
Mr. Stapleton had abandoned the chase and came back to us.
Hola, Barry! You have introduced yourself, I can see.
Yes, I was telling Sir Henry that it was rather late for him to see the true beauties of the moor.
No, only humble commoner, but his friend. My name's Dr. Watson.
You know Sir Henry? I'm sorry for that.
Do you think we should make the acquaintance of Sir Henry?
I am sure that he would be delighted.
Dr. Watson, I have run all the way in order to cut you off. Dr. Watson, please forget the words I said. We have no obligation whatever to you.
But I can't forget them, Mr. Stapleton. I am Sir Henry's friend. Tell me why you want Sir Henry to back to the London.
It's very dangerous here.
But what is the danger?
You know the story of the Hound?
I do not believe in such nonsense.
But I do. I must get back. Goodbye.
One day, the Stapletons visited the
Henry?
Baskerville's house. Since that meeting, Henry has fallen in love with Barry. In this report, I have 3 things to inform you. The first thing is that Sir Henry and Miss Barry were engaged. Also, Sir Henry and I decided to stay up all night and keep an eye on Barrymore. It turned out that Missy Barrymore's brother was Sheldon, the mad prison who escaped, and out of the love for their brother, they provided him with food and clothes. That's also the reason why Missy Barrymore cried at night. In addition, I was also discovered that the night Sir Charles died, he had a date with a woman named Laura. Then I decided to see her, and found that she and Jack Stapleton has an unusual relationship. After the second report, I received an anonymous letter that required me to come to the Great Mine. It was I, not Sir Henry, who was being dogged by this secret man. Always there was this feeling of an unseen force, a finite thrown round us with infinite force.
A lovely evening, my dear Watson. I really think that you will be more comfortable outside than in.
Holmes! Holmes! I was never more glad to see anyone in my life. How did you know me here? My footprint? I presume.
I see the stub of a cigarette marked Bradley of 4th Street. I know that my friend Watson is in the neighborhood.
Now you here, and then all my report has been wasted.
No, here's your report, my dear fellow. I must compliment for your report.
So tell me about your investigation.
Based on your report, I think there is close intimacy existing between this lady and the man Stapleton. There can be no doubt about the matter. Now, this puts a very powerful weapon into our hands. We can use this to create conflict between him and his wife.
Wife? Which wife?
I am giving you some information now in return for all that you have given me. The lady who has passed here as Miss Stapleton is, in reality, his wife.
God heaven, Holmes. Are you sure of what you're saying? How could he permit that Sir Henry fall in love with her?
Sir Henry falling in love could do no harm to anyone except Sir Henry. I repeat that the lady is his wife and not his sister.
But why is it elaborate deception?
Because his foresaw that she would be very much more powerful and useful to him in the character of a free woman.
But are you sure of this, Holmes? How do you know that the woman is his wife?
Because he so far forgot himself to tell you he was only a schoolmaster in the north of England. Now there is no one easier to trace than a schoolmaster. A little investigation showed me that a school had come to grief under atrocious circumstances, and that the man who had owned it, the name was different, had disappeared with his wife. When I learned that the missing man was devoted to etymology, the identification was complete.
If this woman intrudes his wife, so where does Mrs. Laura come in?
Miss Laura had divorced her husband. In that case, regarding Stapleton as an unmarried man, she had no doubt upon becoming his wife.
And when she is undeceived?
It must be our first duty to see her, or worse, tomorrow.
Last question, Holmes. What is the meaning of it all? What is he after?
It is murder, Russian, refined, cold-blooded, deliberate murder. Do not ask me for particulars. My nests are closing upon him.
Suddenly, a terrible scream burst out of the silence of the moor. That frightful cry turned the blood to ice in my veins.
Oh my God, what is it? What does it mean?
The Hound! Come, Watson, come! God heavens, if we are too late!
We had started running swiftly over the moor, but there came one last despairing yell, and then a dull, heavy thud. Not another sound broke the heavy silence of the wildest night. I saw Holmes put his hand to his forehead like a man distracted. He stamped his feet upon the ground.
Has been nurse, Watson. We are too late.
Oh, Holmes, I shall never forgive myself for leaving him to his fate.
No, no, surely not. A bed! A bed! The man had a bed!
A beer?
Is it not Sir Henry? It is a convict.
But why did he dress in Henry's clothes? Exactly the old one.
Is it clear enough that the house has been laid on from something of Sir Henry's? The boot wig was missing in the hotel. The possibility is he sent on those things, so the house runs this man down.
Dr. Watson, that's not you? But dear me, what is this? Somebody hurt? No, don't tell me that is our friend Sir Henry. Who's that? Who's that?
It's Sheldon, the man who escaped from Princetown.
Dear me, what a very shocking affair. How did he die?
He has broken his neck by falling over the rocks. My friend and I were strolling on the moor when we heard a cry.
Oh, I heard a cry also. That brought me out. I was uneasy about Sir Henry.
Why about Sir Henry in particular?
Because I had suggested that he should come over, and when he didn't come, I was surprised. By the way, did you hear anything else besides a cry?
No, did you?
No.
What do you mean then?
Oh, you know about the cursed house? It is said to be heard at night upon the moor. I was wondering if there anything evidence of such sound tonight.
We heard nothing of the kind.
And what is your theory of this poor fellow's death?
I have no doubt that anxiety and exposure have driven him off his head, and then fallen over here and broke his neck.
Yes, I think that seems the most reasonable theory. What do you think about it, Mr. Sherlock Holmes?
You know me?
We have been expecting you in these parts since Dr. Watson came down. You are in time. You are in time to see the tragedy.
Yes, indeed. I have no doubt that my friend's explanation will cover the facts. I intend to come back to London tomorrow.
Oh, you return tomorrow?
That's my intention.
Oh, I hope your visit will cast light upon the occurrences which has puzzled us.
After saying goodbye with Mr. Stapleton, we're back at Baskerville's Manor.
I think I will muzzle the Hound and train him all right, if you will give me your help.
Whatever you tell me to do, I will do.
Very good. And I will ask you also to do it politely, without always asking the reason.
Just as you like.
I wish you to drive to Mary Pitt House. Send back your trap, however. I let them know that you intend to walk home.
To walk across the mall?
Yes,
But that's the very thing which you so often counsel me not to do.
this time you may do it with safety. If I had not every confidence in your nerve and courage, I would not suggest it. But it is essential that you should do it.
Okay, then I will do it.
If you will do this, I think the chance our little problem will soon be solved. I have no doubt.
Suddenly, he stopped talking and ran under a painting. It seemed that Holmes had discovered something in the picture. The next morning, Holmes and I pretended to return to London, but actually, we came to Miss Laura's house to confirm our deduction. That morning, Sir Henry went to Jack Stapleton's for dinner, and then he crossed the moor alone to arrive home. We hid about 200 yards away from the house, waiting for the Hound.
Jack, don't do that. Please, please.
You know you can stop me.
Look out! The hound is coming!
Then Holmes and I both fired together. The creature gave a hideous howl, which showed that one at least had it in. It did not pause, however, but bounded onward. Holmes shot the mad hound again. The giant hound was dead and was successfully rescued Henry. Holmes revealed that it was a normal dog, a mix of bloodhound coated in furpers on his fur to give it a scary appearance and close in the night. Then they found Miss Stapleton fainted inside the bedroom, while Jack Stapleton apparently died in an attempt to reach his hideout in the nearby mine. From then, no one sees Barry, and maybe she moves to another place.
Was Sir Henry stolen by Jack Stapleton?
No doubt. He wanted the hound to smell it and then help him to kill Sir Henry.
But I wonder why Mr. Stapleton wanna kill me?
He is one of the unknown Baskerville family member. If he is still alive, you can ask him. He wants to kill you to inherit all the possessions of the Baskervilles.
How could you find that out?
Do you remember the picture of Sir Hugo II on the wall? I saw the resemblance between their eyes. Thank you.
The case was closed, and the next day Holmes and I said goodbye to Sir Henry and returned to London.
Oh, damn, this freaking mile. I can't move with this. No, no, no. I can't die in this way. No.
Oh, my dear, give me your hand. Give me your hand.
Who are you? Why you want to save me? Why are you here?
At this moment, I can say nothing. But please, follow me.
I don't know exactly why you want to save me, but thank you. This time, could you give me some reasons for saving me? Who are you and why are you so kind to me like that?
I met a Baskerville's memoir. You don't know me, but I know. I love you for a long time.
Do you know what happened to me?
I have no idea. I don't care about that anyway. I just wanna save you from danger.
Oh my dear, if you love me, will you have me?
My sweetheart, I can do everything for you.
So please believe everything I'm gonna say. I'm also a member of the Baskervilles and I can be the legal heir of their property. So that's why Henry and his companion want me to disappear forever.
Unbelievable. I can believe how actually good. Don't worry, I'm ready to do everything with you.
Oh goodness. Thank you, honey. I promise that if I could have the property, I will marry you and we will live happily in the Baskerville's house. Wait for me, Home and Henry. Both of you must die. Everything is mine.
Sir Henry's health now deteriorated. He had a severe headache and decided to invite Dr. Mortimer.
Morning, sir.
Hi, Dr. Mortimer. Recently, I felt uncomfortable and had a serious headache.
Okay, so now just tell me your daily diet. Have anything changed?
Well, nothing changed. I still keep the old diet. But recently, I changed to new type of tea, and it is said to help me have a better sleep.
Just show me, sir.
Yes, sir.
I think I need to have a quick check for it. But who serves that to you every day?
Well, my maid. And any problems? You think it has something unusual in it?
Okay, I will tell you tomorrow, sir.
The next day, Dr. Mortimer returned to the Baskervilles and informed Sir Henry that his tea was poisonous. However, neither of them knew why the tea was poisoned and who wanted to harm Henry. So Dr. Mortimer advised Henry to write to Sherlock Holmes for advice. The next day, Henry received a reply from Holmes. In the letter, Holmes told about his suspicions when he saw a mud-stained dress of the maid. He told Henry to pretend to be more ill to catch the criminal off guard and to keep a closer eye on the maid.
I have thought Holmes is a genius. But that's all. Damn, Henry ruined my original plan. I don't care. Jack is also very easy to exploit. Idiots. No man can escape from my control. Now, I need to comfort Jake.
Why don't you come here? I told you not to come here before Henry's gonna die.
Oh, Jake, my dear, Henry's going to die. I just met you and want to see you.
While Maid and Jack were talking to each other, Henry and the police rushing in to arrest them. The criminal finally received the proper punishment, which he deserved. Henry wrote to Holmes about his exploits.
No!
After a while, Henry felt suffocated with his current life and decided to travel. And by chance, during that trip, he accidentally met Barry again.